When I was a boy, my father took me into the sept with him. I can still remember the smell of the candles and incense burning at each altar. My father was a pious man, skilled with the sword and lucky enough to inherit land and titles. He always remembered to thank the gods for their blessing on his house, and he tried to teach each of his sons to remember as well. My older brothers were less than grateful. They scoffed at religion until the time came to be knighted, and then they seemed the most pious men for a day before returning to their whoring and drinking. My oldest brother, Daryn, he will inherit my father's castle and titles, but when he dies, will he see the 7 heavens or the 7 hells? I became fascinated with the 7-pointed star, reading it over and again from the moment I learned my letters. It became a guide for me, a compass for my soul. I wanted to be a great warrior for the 7, join the warrior's sons, and fight for the faith. I grew and learned, becoming greater than my brothers in combat. I can still see my father's eyes shimmering with pride as his 3rd son defeated the first 2 on the training ground. He would have given me his lands if he could, I'm sure. He did not live through my 5th winter. The cold began in his chest and took him slowly. I used to go into the sept every morning and every evening to pray. First I prayed for his healing, but I realized the gods don't work that way. Then I prayed for his soul, but I knew his faith was true. So finally I prayed for my family to stand firm when he passed. When he closed his eyes for the last time, I like to think he knew I was in the sept, and he would have been proud. Daryn saw fit to name me his master at arms, wanting, I'm sure, to keep me close so I would not rise against him. I was content with that for a time. But as I prayed in the sept, I began to see a vision of a much different future. I could see a ship, tossed by waves, but proudly and boldly moving west. The maiden emblazoned on the ship's prow, cutting the waves with her chest. I could see mountains and trees, rivers and valleys. As I returned to my brother's castle, I felt the Father speak to me. I knew what I must do. My name is Verric Uros. In the light of the 7, my path has been illuminated. The Father has spoken to me, calling me across the narrow sea to the land of Westeros. The barbarians in that land worship trees with faces. I've seen them in the sept during my prayers to the warrior. My calling has been made clear, to show them the light of the 7 and to rescue their souls. I need companions for my journey, so I'm calling the greatest tournament in the history of Andalos to find them. I seek cunning, quick, shrewd, tactical men of honor to sail across the sea and bring the tree worshippers into the light. I will stop at nothing to fulfill my calling, my destiny. I will make these barbarians believe, even if they have to see the 7 hells first.